I'll go ahead and call this to order if we, we have just a few of us, but we sure are unruly. I'll call the meeting to order. Let me read the emergency evacuation procedures. In the event of an emergency evacuation, an alarm will sound. Everyone should exit the building by way of the nearest stairwell in a safe and effective manner. If the nearest stairwell is blocked by smoke, use the other stairwell. Do not use the elevator. Once you've reached the main floor, follow the exit signs to exit the building and quickly proceed away from the building. Please be mindful of others evacuating and of emergency vehicles. With that said, you've had the minutes. Any corrections, additions or corrections to the minutes from the May 22nd regular Planning Commission? If there are none, can I have a motion to approve? I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Did we change the, no, we didn't, okay. Roger, site plan.
Yes, I believe the first one you have there is for American Garage Storage. It's off of Highway 321. This request is a revision of a site plan that was approved by the Planning Commission on June 22nd, 2006. The site plan was approved for 3 mini storage units that would total 81,400 square feet. The proposed changes would be for 3 structures that would total 39,850 square feet. The property, once again, is off 321 just before Nelson Lane and is identified on tax map 55, parcel 71. The property is zoned commercial. The applicant was delayed on construction of these units, but has continued to do site preparation over the years. Now is ready to start construction and has decided to go with the smaller footprint. His proposed changes do need to be recognized by you guys for the record. And the entrance has changed a little bit too, but it's still by state permitted entrance directly onto 321 and wouldn't require him to use Nelson Lane in its current state.
Okay, do we have any questions, comments? If there are none, do I have a motion? We have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. William Blount Drive, Maryville Auto Sales. Roger.
This request is at 115 William Blount Drive. The property is identified on tax map 67, parcel 258.01, and is zoned commercial. The applicant is proposing a small 26 by 24 carport with a 10 by 24 enclosed storage on one end. The proposed addition will be used for his car prep area for the cars that he sells there on the lot. And it's just one of those prefab metal carports that he's going to set out there for to cover while they're prepping the cars. It's well within the setbacks.
Any other comments or questions? Do I have a motion? Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Roger.
Thank you.
Re-subdivision of Lot 2, Lamont and McDaniel property off of Big Springs Road. 4 lots, one with county frontage. Who's got that?
I've got it. It's Lehman and McDaniel property off of Big Springs Road. The outstanding items to be completed begin, I believe, on page 3, if I can get there. Nope, I'm sorry. 4. Number 1, a copy of a maintenance agreement or property owners association documentation to be supplied to staff for review. And number 2 is a pre-construction meeting is required prior to any on-site work, and erosion control plan and any state permits to staff as applicable. All instructions in the staff analysis for the construction of the common driveway, paving of the entrance, and construction of all utility improvements. If you have any questions, I will be glad to address them. And Alan Bernard's here. He's the surveyor if you have any questions for him.
How far back do you require the paving to go?
About 30 feet.
Is that in the regulations?
It is. We're a little bit flexible with it. Different roads have different pavement widths, and what we try to do is at least, what our regulations call for is at least to go back to the end of the county right-of-way. If you've got a 10-foot wide county road, you have to pave more. If you have a 22-foot wide road, there's less to pave in most cases. So it's usually around 30 feet though to make a good taper, because it tapers from 16 feet, so you can have a car coming in and going out at the same time down to the 10-foot gravel surface.
Does that ever not apply in the driveway scenarios? Is that not required in these situations?
It was originally only going to be required on collector status or greater roads, and then when another planning commissioner was on the planning commission, he kept pushing for us to make it more comprehensive so that all common driveways have it, and it was supported by Bill Dunlap. But the only cases that we don't require it is if there's an existing common driveway and they're just adding lots to it. So there is an exception to the rule.
So I personally think it's a good rule.
It is.
I think as time evolves, I think that's what we
Yeah, we haven't. It keeps a lot of gravel off the county roads, which is actually a dangerous situation, and it keeps the people on a paved surface when they're pulling in or out of the subdivision, even though it's a small 4-lot subdivision. You know, it's safety, and it also, you know, on the edge of pavement there, Bill Dunlap has a lot of problems with that when there's a lot of traffic that goes on and off those, so it preserves the edge of the pavement for the county so they don't have to maintain it.
Doug, who's responsible for that paving? Is the developer responsible for that
Oh, yes.
paving? And then once everything's in place, then does the county take over? Or
No,
they're- the homeowners association?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
make a motion for approval.
Do I have a second? Subject to staff motion to approve, subject to staff recommendations. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Hayden's Place, lots 12 to 21, Phase 2 of Van Buren Builders off of Old White's Mill.
Yeah, this is 2 lots with county road frontage and 8 lots served exclusively by the 2 common driveway easements. Just because we get asked this question a lot, lot number 21 actually has road frontage, and lot number 12 actually has road frontage, if you want to spot that on your plat. Let's see, the outstanding items to be completed. This subdivision, I'll give you a little history, began in 2010. Amber and Builders did the road frontage lots, and the drainage facilities were all contained within those first set of lots. Now they had to come back for Phase 2, and they renewed the preliminary plat a couple of months ago, and now they've come and constructed the common driveways. The drainage facility actually is for all of the subdivision, and I'll speak to that in a minute, but all of the property owners association has to maintain that. And it's actually not a detention facility, it's actually a retention facility. The water does not get out of there unless it goes into the ground. So, anyway, I'll start with the outstanding items to be completed on page 6. Number 1, a property owners association documentation for these lots for the stormwater drainage facilities and maintenance of the common driveways. Number two, and I need to report to you that that item actually has been complete. I have that document, so it's ready to go. Number two, construction of a T turnaround at the end of each common driveway. That has been done as of today. That is complete. Number three, repair of all eroded ditches along the length of both common driveways, reseeding and matting of the ditches after repairs have been made. Erosion control measures need to be repaired and kept in place until vegetation is established along the ditches. I actually wrote that previously, and the developer had some problems with the ditches, and then he went out and fixed them again, and they've blown out again. They've had a couple really bad storms out there. But I think we just need to leave 3 as it is, and we're going to insist that he use matting this time instead of straw. So hopefully have better results. Number 4, signature plats including electric and water utility certifications. Each utility has been completely installed or provisions have been made to ensure their completion, and a $40 per lot platting fee, and both water and electric have signed the final plat.
Questions or comments? Commissioner Kirby?
Question. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. These are all paved streets, correct?
No, they're gravel.
They're going to be gravelled?
They are gravel, yes, sir.
Okay, and so you, out on the road, have we got we know we're going to be paved in, what, 30 feet?
No, just the entrance is paved 30 feet back off the county road,
30 feet.
just where you pull in, and they're both paved. They've already been
Are
completed.
there any grades here or anything going into the 2 driveways? Any uphill? I mean, the grade, is it level, pretty?
One of the driveways, they're both relatively flat, but the one that's closer to the mountains, which would be the one that looks like it has that big blotch next to
Right,
it, that one actually, when you see the turn, it does go uphill, but it's probably about a 4 or 5% grade. But I've never seen such damage in ditches. They must have just had some really bad storms there.
Okay, thank you.
And lot 12 and 21, they're flag lots, right?
Yes, sir.
Any other comments, questions?
Make a motion for approval, subject to meeting all requirements of the plat, identified conditions, if there's any.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Reagan property off of Ellajoy Road.
Yeah. This is 3 lots. They all have county road frontage. Outstanding items to be completed. Number 1, there's only one signature plats, including environmental health department certification, pending the final review, and a $20 per lot platting fee. And if you look at the plat, we actually went out there and we added a driveway note to lot number 2 for safety purposes. The driveway is going to go in that location only.
Can you say that again, Doug?
Yeah, if you look at the plat, you'll see lot number 2. There's a little checkered area. That's where the driveway is going to go. That's for
okay.
safety reasons.
Is that the way it's commonly shown on that for restricted areas?
We kind of make it up as we go. But yeah, I mean, you know, I always recommend they do it the same way. I've seen it other ways.
Because I know in the past, you guys have talked about, some of the hills or curves and whatnot. I'd like to see it consistent way.
Yeah, we try to be consistent. We typically, when we have either a site distance easement added to a plat or a driveway restriction like this on the plat, we ask them to hatch it like that so it's kind of consistent. If you look back through plats that this planning commission has approved over the years, probably 10 or 15 years, you'll probably see it. They look pretty similar. Sometimes I've seen them in other places just use an arrow or something, and that gets missed a lot of times when they do the title work, and you know, they miss things like site distance easements and so forth.
Commissioner Kirby?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On lot 2, 0.82 of an acre, that's more than what we're requiring on the footage.
Yes, sir.
How much more would that be, Doug? 0.82 of an acre.
Well, we require a point, what, 6.7, 6.8?
So they got just enough to do a little more field work if they had to. Okay,
Right.
thank you.
And if it's not adequate, when Gary does his final inspection, he wasn't able to do it, he's out of town this week, that's why I wrote it up that way, but, there's room to move that lot line if he needs to.
I have a motion to approve, subject to staff recommendations. And a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
All right, moving into staff reports. Roger has given us suggested changes for, oops, I'm sorry. Oh, just staff, I'm sorry. Did we pull this one? We pulled that one. You're off the hook, Roger. I was looking at my old agenda. No, I wasn't. Staff reports, John. No staff reports. Anyone have anything for the good of the order? We are adjourned.